Hi Danish learner, welcome back to my channel Danish Matters. I'm Tina Baga, your Danish friend and tutor. Today we're talking about the Danish nouns and our articles in and it. Before we get started though, I would like to remind you that if you would like a Danish course with me, then write to tina@danishmatters.dk. Now, as you know, we have two articles in the Danish language, in and it has nothing to do with masculine or feminine or anything like that, like they do in other languages. It's just in and it, yeah. Although some might say that Danes don't understand if you use one instead of the other, the wrong article really changes the meaning of the word. However, there are a few examples. I'm just going to mention a few here. And one is when we say en frø, FR/O, the Ö, yeah, FRØ. It means a frog, so the animal. But if we choose the other article, that is it frø, it means a seed, one that you would plant in the ground in order to get a plant or a flower or a bush, yeah? We also have en lem, a hatch, et lem, a penis, and et lem, yes, again, a limp. So 2 times limp actually for 2 different words for a body part. Et limp, yes, again. For example, et fattig limp, someone living in a poorhouse. So this is, of course, a more historical word, you could say. Yeah? So these are just a few examples where we actually have both articles for the same noun, but the meaning changes. Yeah? It's not that often that happens, and often I would say that Danes, they should just understand you if you say the wrong one. But the thing is, in the Danish language, it's not that difficult for Danes either. I mean, they're not stupid and they're not that impolite than others. I mean, a little impolite, yes, but not as much as you might think, because if you say in front of a word and it should have been it, that is not when the Danes don't understand, or at least not normally. It would be wrong, but they would still understand. But the problem is if you think that a noun has an article that it doesn't have, and you place that at the end of that noun in the definite singular form, right? That's what we do. It becomes more difficult to actually hear and understand what you're saying because they go together with the word. They melt into the word. Whereas in a lot of other languages, it's only what is in front that changes, right? The word itself does not change unless maybe in plural with an S at the end, yeah, in a lot of languages. Not in Danish, yeah, and that's the difficult part for the Danes. So let me give you an example. If you say, for example, you know that it's called et bord, yeah? If you say en bord instead, and you add en at the back of that word, it becomes born. And that's just a little difficult to understand. That is the same as bort or boal, as we would say here in Zealand. Yeah, we would have the et ending as a soft d sound. Yeah, so there's a difference between born and boal. Yeah, or bort. Same thing goes if you say, for example, you know it's called en stol, a chair. But if you add et, if you think it's et stol instead, you would say stolet or stolet. Yeah, it's a little difficult for the Danes to really grasp what you're saying when you're using the wrong one. This is not to demotivate you, okay? It's just to say that have a little compassion with the impolite Danes, because they don't mean to be impolite all the time, only sometimes. they don't really understand, because it really is more difficult to understand when something is a part of the noun and not just something in front that changes. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Then there are these words in Danish which have both in and it as the article and mean the same. Yeah, so these are, for example, en compliment, a compliment, or et compliment, a compliment. Yeah. En podcast, it podcast. Means the same, a podcast. En event, it event. Still an event. Yeah. So, and there are actually no rules for this, as there are in, for example, German, where a new word gets the gender of a similar word already existing in the German language. Danes, on the other hand, are the ones to influence which gender a word gets. So, yeah, it might get what we're just saying when we use that word, when it enters our language. The association for the Danish language is called Dansk Sprognævn. They are the ones who monitor our language and who research what people do and write, etc. So what we say and what we write. The difference in Denmark from many other countries is that while language users in many other countries are sort of told what to say, how to pronounce, and how to write, it's the other way around in Denmark most of the time. Danes use the language and our usage gets adopted into the dictionary. And if you don't really know what I'm talking about, then watch the video about the mayonnaise war. I go more into that kind of language there. Yep, so we're a complicated folk. And yeah, opposite many others, so learn to love it. That is all I have to say today about our articles, in and it. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel. It will help it grow. So if you would like more videos like this, then hit the notification button so that you get more videos from Danish Matters. And I just got left to say, happy Danish learning!